Yes, we're here in Oshkosh, Wisconsin, and we're about to ride Go Transit. We're going on a bit of a thrift shopping adventure, and originally I was gonna head down to the transit offices to get a Wisco card, but I saw one of the buses said ride free today, so that may not be necessary. The cool thing about this system is the bus actually goes into the parking lot of the thrift store, so that's amazing. Let's check it out. We're right across the street from Red Arrow Park, which has some tanks on display, where I just realized that tank treads are more or less giant cassette players. Worth noting, they have the cast iron tactile strips here, where other parts of the country they're fiberglass. Metal is cool. Here it is. Go Transit uses these 35-foot New Flyer Excelsiors. I haven't ridden a diesel bus in forever, because I'm from SoCal. Let's go. Turns out it is free. Oshkosh is home to about 60,000 people, and unlike where I live in Southern California, it isn't right next to 50 other cities of the same size. Thus, the traffic here is very minimal by my standards. I've visited Oshkosh many times over the years for family vacations, but this is my first time actually trying the bus system. Our first segment of the trip is taking Route 5 to the downtown transit center, where we will transfer to Route 1, which turns into Route 4. The route that serves St. Vincent de Paul thrift store. Now I could have saved some time by taking Route 2 instead of the 1 and the 4 and walking a block up to the thrift store, but that wouldn't be as cool as being dropped off right in the parking lot. Wisconsin also has big fields of grass that just grow by themselves. You don't need to water them. That's crazy talk where I'm from. Here we're crossing the Fox River, which the city of Oshkosh is built around. The river flows into Lake Winnebago directly to the east, the largest lake within the state. Oshkosh is also a college town, home to UWO, which has this big blimp-looking indoor athletic field on its campus. Right along the river we pass by some new, dated-looking apartment buildings, and the city center building as we pull into the transit center. Made it to the transit center downtown. We're about to catch the 1, which goes up and around. Yeah, we were here, and now we're here, and we're gonna go like this to St. Vincent de Paul. Looks like a pulse system going on because all the buses arrived at the same time. But let's get on the 1. Oh man, they used the Bic Rack bike racks that I don't prefer. This one has padded seats. The system is a bit confusing to understand at first because they're all loop lines and they're interlined, which means as we're on the 1, it's going to turn into the 4 right here, and then it goes around and turns back into the 1 on its way back. Let's see if I can navigate this. Basically, all the routes except the 3 make a big figure 8 sort of shape, and they change into a different number at the crossover point. I think the logic behind this is to avoid confusion. For instance, if the 1 was this entire bow tie shape, it would be difficult to refer to the direction you're going as clockwise or counterclockwise. Breaking it into 2 different numbers addresses that somewhat. The routes are also timed to meet each other at these crossover points to maximize their usefulness and efficiency. Just like how all the buses arrive and depart downtown at the same time. It makes for shorter wait times all around. We make our way towards downtown and start seeing brick-looking buildings. These particular ones aren't original, they're actually part of the city's center building dating back to the 70s, but they did a decent job replicating that look. We then pass the Marriott Waterfront Hotel, which is connected to the Oshkosh Convention Center across Main Street. East of Main Street there's this cool round skyscraper. And we turn east, passing the YMCA on Washington Avenue, heading towards the neighborhoods on the lake. Train track shot. While Oshkosh hasn't had passenger rail service in bloody forever, it was included on the recent Amtrak Connects Us map for a potential route connecting Chicago and Milwaukee to Green Bay. Let's hope Joe Biden gets re-elected to make that happen. Hey, I thought this wasn't a social commentary. Nature. Turning on the bow end. destination we'll probably hit up later. Piggly Wiggly. Just past Piggly Wiggly, we arrive at the time point where routes 1 and 4 turn into each other. So we're at the stop where we turn into the 4, and I believe that's the 4 turning into the 1. Right here. Now we do all these crazy industrial deviations before hitting up the thrift store. And there goes the 1 back down south. This is the closest we'll get to Lake Winnebago, as these houses are right on the water. I'd hazard to guess it's called GO Transit because it's short for Winnebago, which is also the name of the county we're in. We make an 135-degree turn, crossing the train tracks again, right next to the Oshkosh Corporation, manufacturer of fire trucks, backward cement mixers, and heavy military vehicles, the likes of which recently appeared on Well There's Your Problem podcast.
Oh yeah, I mean the MATVs were made by Oshkosh.
We continue the industrial deviations, making our way to the northernmost point on the bus system on Snell Road. A few years ago there used to be a Route 10 bus which went all the way north to the city of Neenah, but it has since been replaced with microtransit. We turn back south, crossing even more train tracks, passing right by one of the big water towers in the city. We then deviate to serve some new apartments right behind the Bergstrom Ford dealership on Jackson Street. Bergstrom is notorious for monopolizing the car dealership business in the area. And back south on Jackson. Alright, we're almost there. We make a loop on Packer Avenue as we turn into the parking lot of the thrift store. Thank you. A thrift store with a bus stop. That is awesome. The thrift store where you can tell it used to be a supermarket. This place is huge. I didn't realize Adobe made speakers. Is that a PlayStation Link cable? Finding some good stuff. Bikes. Alright, got some good stuff. Let's get back on the bus to Piggly Wiggly. Why is it green on one side and blue on the other? Beats me. We continue the rest of Route 4, past Oshkosh North High School, through the roundabout on Jackson Street and Murdoch Avenue, passing Leon's Custard, and over the train tracks once again, exiting at Piggly Wiggly just before the interline point with Route 1. Love the payphone just in the middle of the field. We have to know, does it work? No. So ambient. Now, I recently watched the Modern Marvels episode about grocery stores, and apparently Piggly Wiggly was the first modern supermarket in the sense, and I haven't seen them elsewhere besides Wisconsin. Guess there's your dairy subsidy at work. Okay, let's go take the one back to downtown. Locally produced sewer caps, locally produced cast iron tactile strips, electrical substation shot. Now at the bus stop where the 1 turns into the 4 and vice versa. Right outside Musel Metal Products. I'm just so not used to seeing diesel transit buses. They're so much shorter than the natural gas versions because the tank's on the roof. Now the question is this the 1 that is turning into the 4, or is this the 4 that just turned into the 1? Because coming up here is a 1. I think that one's turning into the 4 because it came straight up the street and I wasn't paying attention. I'd better ask before I get left behind. That first bus was the one that I wanted. Anyways, we take the southbound leg of the 1, which serves Menominee Park, right on Lake Winnebago. The park features a miniature railroad, but it was out of service during my visit for construction. We proceed south through the neighborhood and curve back west towards downtown. Alright, we made it back to the transit center. We're about to head downtown to go to the record store, which is very close. Speaking of records, there's a cool mural, and we are Downtown. Nice walkable downtown here. Brick buildings.
Weed!
Oh, I thought I escaped California to get away from that. Nice brass plaque here. I headed into Eroding Wind's record shop once it opened. It had a pretty good selection, and I appreciated they had a listening station so I could preview some used records. Pomona's own. Now I know I told myself I wasn't going to buy any records, but these two I couldn't resist. The DJ Greyboy one, I do have another 12-inch single from that album, and I do love that one a lot. And the second one, it was like first 3 seconds, yeah, I'm buying it. Never heard of them though. Here's the library, which is one of the places you can buy the Wisco card for the bus. Alright, I think this will conclude the video, but I must say I'm actually very impressed with Go Transit. It seems surprisingly effective for how circulatory the routes look, but having that time transfer in downtown seems very useful, and the amount of people on it seem pretty good for just such a small town. And I think it proves the point, you can live in Oshkosh without a car. Only problem, it stops running by 7 p.m. and it doesn't run on Sundays, so that's kind of your typical quintessential small town transit system. But I think the thrift store with the bus stop makes up for that. No, it doesn't. Other thing I love about this flyer is it shows the bus riding facts, like nutrition facts, and buses carry over 9,000 bikes per year. And also this map is missing a bridge right here. Otherwise, go. I hit up some more thrift stores later in the trip, getting even more records. And I spotted this old Panasonic bike with a lugged frame going for $15. Someone got a good deal.